What's going on, guys? Hey, it is Anthony with the Wrenched Out Experiment coming to you from Alaska. We are going to be talking about COVID-19 today here on the show. So stay tuned. Look into this. And then all right, guys. So if you're new to the channel, again, I'm Anthony. This is the Wrenched Out Experiment. I've been lightly covering some of the COVID-19 items and stuff that's going on here in Alaska. So I appreciate everybody that is watching the videos and supporting me on this reporting endeavor, I should say. So first and foremost, let's start off with the numbers as I normally do. It is, let's see, I'm shooting this the evening of April 21st. You guys will see this maybe late tonight. I'm not sure. There was 8 new cases, total cases 329, recovered cases 168, total hospitalizations 36, statewide deaths 9. Okay, so there was a lot of things covered in the last week since I put out my last video. And I was on the fence. I was getting ready to shoot a video, and then I was like, nah, I don't know if I want to cover this or not cover this, but I let some time go. For a minute, I was just going to say, screw it. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I've kind of overcome that. And here we are today, April 21st. And part of the plans for the economic reignition or startup or what have you was released today per Governor Dunleavy. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I did take a screenshot, I should say, of the slide pack as I was watching. And I'm only going to cover part of phase 1 because I don't think it's relevant to talk about any of the future phases because we got to see what happens in phase 1. So I believe it's immediate Friday. So if you've been following the COVID recommendations and mandates that I've talked about, those are still valid. I think it was mandate 10 has been extended to May 20 or right around May 19th, May 20th. It'll be listed in the packet, and that is the health mandate based around traveling, both internal and external. So mandate 10, I believe, was the external, and it was 11 or something else. Both have been extended. Social distancing, again, is extended. But reopening the economy here in Alaska. Now, this has been an extremely sensitive subject for any person. I don't care what side you take, whether you believe in the COVID-19, whether you think it's a crock of crap and you don't, and it's just like the influenza and the whatever side you take. The reality of it is this is happening. Okay, so I'm not going to argue one way or the other. What I will say is going over some of the facts here, and some of those facts are what I started with. Now, I'm not, again, going to argue these numbers versus influenza versus or SARS and versus H1N1. This is getting to a point where it's like you're there either an advocate of going the health route or you're an advocate of the economy route, or you're somewhere in between and you're going to follow all the mandates and you're going to help stimulate the economy or play your part. So I guess there's 3 parts to this. So with getting that out of the way, the economy is slated to open back up. Now, again, a lot of things have happened over the last couple of weeks. Oil prices are at an all-time low. The state of Alaska heavily relies on oil production for several reasons. The predominant is obviously the tax structure that's built around oil production in the state of Alaska for the government. Economically, there's an ad running, and I'll chase down the ad on this, but it's something like $1 billion a year is used economically within the state, thousands and thousands of jobs. This is super serious. So, and part of that is obviously the oil reserve or the oil tanks that hold the oil. If you read into this, they're hitting maximum, they're full. So there's nowhere for it to go. And then obviously consumption's at an all-time low because everybody's been on a hunker down notice. So the people aren't driving around. Um, they're not going to work. They're not taking their boats out, motorcycles out. I mean, to some degree, yes, they are. All right. I'm not going to argue that. Yes, of course they are. But on the normal operating scale, especially for the US and for a lot of countries that are doing hunker downs or whatever, their consumption is dramatically reduced because you're staying at home. So obviously, I'm not going to explain that much further. Not a good situation. In addition to that, obviously, tourism's going to be hit pretty dramatic because of flight restrictions, quarantining, social distancing, so forth and so on. Phase one of this plan covers, and I believe it goes into effect this Friday, which let's see what Friday looks like. So the 24th. Plans and details, as they said, it will be worked out with the mayor, and then I'm assuming the mayor, the governor agree to whatever, and then that information should be disseminated to some local level, allowing you or I, me being the Matsu Valley citizen, understand what it means, Anchorage, what it means, what Berkowitz is doing, so forth and so on, so we can understand at a local level what this means, because that was, I guess, one of the contingent factors or variables in understanding what is about to take place. Because what I'm going to read through this, but it doesn't mean that every area is going to abide by these rules and restrictions. So most non-essential businesses reopen with safeguards. Some of those safeguards were all employees are wearing masks, limited. Yeah, it says right here 25% capacity. So if you were talking about Kohl's in an Anchorage, instead of it being able to have an occupancy of who knows? I don't know what the occupancy. And actually, I don't. That actually kind of brings to a good question. So is it maximum occupancy to the store? Because if you think about that, if you look at Kohl's, if you've ever been to Kohl's, I've been in there a couple of times. That store is never at its occupancy, with the exception of Black Friday. It's never at 50. I've never seen that store at 50% occupancy other than Black Friday. So they may operate at 25% max occupancy. So I think retail locations are probably going to be close to normal. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Again, I don't know what the occupancy is, but most non-essential businesses reopen with safeguards. And again, there's going to be more specifics per the mayor of your city or municipality or however your local government city-wise or municipality-wise decides to approach this. Social distancing, table spacing, no waiting rooms, bars, theaters, bowling alleys, and bingo parlors not yet open. So obviously those are going to remain closed. Fitness centers are going to remain closed. They do recommend doing like outdoor fitness. So this is the first step in Alaska kind of moving forward. Barbershops are going to have limitation, tattoo parlors. A lot of those, I believe, are going to go by appointment. But this is phase one. I think phase two details are coming out next week. More details on, I believe, your specific area should be coming out tomorrow. So again, you as the local, whatever community that you're at, you're going to be able to understand what's happening in your environment. And as I see value in both sides of the argument, I truly do. I see value in the health and safety side of things, towards like we really should continue to hunker down. We really should social distance. We really should sanitize. Obviously, these are all recommendations. And then the economy is in lack of better terms, is falling apart. There's not a thriving marketplace that's going to elevate some of these big companies, and even small companies. Small companies have taken a thrashing throughout the COVID-19 here in 2020. So considering both sides, I'm interested to see what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. Don't be rude about it. Okay. There's share your opinion. But remember, everybody's got the right to their own. You know what I mean? So I will share my opinion and then we'll close this out. My opinion is we do have to do something about the economy. Whether we like it or not, we have to face it. I feel like because of the required level of engagement around the health and social services side of this pandemic, it did remove us. And I'm not saying that was wrong I'm not saying that was wrong, but it did remove our ability to track and understand the impacts economically. And with doing so and waiting as long as we have, um, I think that our economic plans to re-stimulate and rebuild are yet to be seen. This is the first attempt. Obviously, there is a lot of health and safety stuff around that. With Are we going to get more cases? What are we going to end up fully affecting or infecting the state and the population because of doing something like this? Um, I don't know about that. What I do know is on both fronts of this, we have to get past COVID-19, or learn the items that are required to manage COVID-19 while on track to rebuild our economy. Because um, being sick and ill is one thing, being out of a job, losing your business, not sure what's going to happen to your job. The mental health alone and stress around that is devastating. The financial hardship is devastating. The endless wondering is devastating as well. Um, and obviously, just like being sick or having a family member that's ill with COVID, so forth and so on. So I know I didn't more or less say my side of it, but that is where I'm at with this. Without getting too particular or one sided. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Um, we'll see how things go, and hopefully I'll get out another video. I've been meaning to do several of these videos again. The last video I did, I don't know. I don't know if it was the stress thing, anxiety, or whatever it was. I just didn't feel up to really talking about it or shooting a video. So I apologize for the delay there. I will try to get out a couple of these videos a week. COVID-19. Hopefully, as summer opens up, though, I will say this: as the environment changes, these videos are going to change. And I mean that in the sense of content. I'm not going to continue to fully cover COVID-19, especially as spring kind of hits us. I will hopefully be getting outside and talking about some of that stuff, doing some photography, shooting some photos, and enjoying Alaska, doing some of the drone stuff and other things that I enjoy doing, and break the monotony up. That's coming really soon. So I look forward to it. I hope you guys do too. Again, I hope you're healthy. I hope you're doing okay financially, or great or fantastic. Tomorrow's going to be another day, guys, and let's hope that phase 1 of the opening of the non-essential business is highly successful. Do your part to ensure that we make those things, because the dangerous part to me about the folks that are like, this isn't shit, blah, 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 blah. It's like, still take the precautions, dude. Whether you believe it or not, take some precautions, because you can be a carrier and then just be getting everybody sick because you're kind of an asshole. So I don't know. I'll end it there. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'll drop another video in a couple of days. Thanks for tuning in.